Friends, this is the high point of the evening when we will invite our chief guest, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, to give the graduation day address. Dr. Shashi
Tharoor. Director Dr. Sunil Chandri, Principal Dr. Alfred Daniel, Chaplain Dr. Robin Lepcha, proud parents, relieved faculty, and above all, the graduating students of the CMC class of 2014. Let me begin this address with a celebration. My heartiest congratulations to the latest graduating batch of the historic Christian Medical College, Vellore. I really would like us all to applaud the hard work and achievements of the 60 students whom we have seen receiving their graduation certificates and proudly moving their tassels from left to right. It's a very moving moment. And I do want to felicitate the proud parents, the teachers, and the management of this renowned 114-year-old college, now under the Tamil Nadu MGR Medical University, on this memorable occasion. Thank you, Dr. Chandri, for your extremely considerate, thoughtful, and memorable introduction. It was a kind of introduction that my late father would have been proud of, but only my mother would have believed. So I will have to send her a copy just to know that I turned out all right. As I stand here in front of this graduating batch, as I shake all those hands, give those medals and certificates, I really can sense the excellence and the energy in this room. It's always such a privilege to be in the company of young and successful students. Your zeal and dynamism fill me with such optimism about our collective future. And I did not fail to notice that 90% of the top prize winners, medalists, and rank holders were women. Guys, let me be frank. I have seen the future and it is female. So better pull up your proverbial socks. Otherwise, we'll soon be fighting for gender equality for men. I'm confident, though, that all of you will spare no effort to live up to the faith placed in you by your teachers and parents and lead lives that will add to the sum total of not just the health, but the knowledge, happiness, and wealth in the world around you. Let me also congratulate the Christian Medical College for your pioneering efforts to bring a discernible change in the field of Indian healthcare education and services. I see that the college has come a long way from its humble roadside beginnings to its current state and its planned expansion to a new campus. In the process, the college has done great service to the nation by creating a pool of trained, value-driven, and committed healthcare professionals whose reputation is second to no other institutions. In fact, I was struck when I was told just a few minutes ago, with great pride and understandable pride, that 65% of this college's medical graduates have come back and pursued their careers in India, even those who've gone abroad. No other college can boast, no other medical college can boast such an extraordinary figure. And it speaks, I believe, to the values and the commitment and the rootedness, we've already heard that word today, that have been instilled in the students of this institution. I might add that as Member of Parliament for Thiruvananthapuram, I'm no stranger to the extraordinary reputation of the CMC hospital and of course the medical center as a whole here in Vellore. There were at least two incidents in which I had some personal knowledge where it was unanimously the view of the doctors in Thiruvananthapuram that the only way we could be of any use to the victims was to send them here to CMC. One was the famous Malayalam film actor Jagati Srikumar, who's a constituent of mine, and who, after many doctors elsewhere in Kerala had given up hope, was brought back to life and considerable degree of normalcy by CMC's attentions. And the other was a very sad story of a young boy, a victim of a primary school bus accident. A careless driver drove the school bus into a canal, and a number of children between the ages of 6 and 8 were killed. I had the horrendous experience of visiting their parents, the bereaved parents. 1 or 2 children survived, and this boy was fished out, but he had been in coma for so long he was essentially appearing to be a vegetable. But CMC has done tremendous work after many, many months to be able to give him some ability to show reflexes and to react and to engage with his family. And all of this, this is young Irfan, who was sent here a couple of years ago. All of this has meant that we speak in Thiruvananthapuram of CMC with the very highest regard. Now, given the commitment and the energy invested in this institution, it is no surprise that it's received universal recognition and acclaim, not just for teaching but for cutting-edge research. I'm an ardent supporter of indigenous healthcare research. I'm pleased to learn how many research papers the teachers and students of this college together have published, and it highlights, it seems to me, the quality and value of research activity in medicine and allied health sciences you're pursuing on this campus. So I know you're just graduating now, and it's the postgraduates who've done much of that, but it does point to another useful direction for you to take. And I'm not surprised that the high standards of education imparted by the college have brought it accreditation by the National Assessment and Accreditation Council with an A grade, and not surprisingly, your institution has also received accreditation by the National Accreditation Board for Hospitals. Congratulations once again. Now, yours is a small and elite institution producing doctors in a nation starved of them. According to the World Bank, India has just 7 doctors per 10,000 people, compared to China's 19, the USA's 25, and Australia's 33. Going by these numbers, by 2020, India would need about 400,000 more doctors, 4 lakh. Clearly, India needs many more institutions of this quality if we are to meet the minimum healthcare needs of our citizens. This means, of course, that none of you graduating today need worry for a moment about what you will do next. I have a friend sitting here from a faculty member of the Vellore Institute of Technology, and you should know that 60% of our engineering graduates in India will never find a job. And 78% of those who do find a job will end up in jobs that don't require an engineering degree. By choosing the field that you have chosen, you've acquired an essential qualification to practice an indispensable profession. I'm sure you know how privileged you are in our society. I know you worked hard to get here. I know you worked very hard. And I'm sure that you value the high quality of education that you've received at this college. I'm told 84% of you are committed to spending the 2 years after your graduation in serving in remote and rural areas. I'm very, very pleased about that. But of course, there is a life beyond that too. And I want to stress that as you graduate today, you become part of a noble profession. You become one of the respected community of medical practitioners of India who have the opportunity and responsibility of working to serve the nation. Just 3 days ago, as you all know, we marked the 125th birth anniversary of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, the man who so memorably declared on the eve of India's independence in 1947, "A moment comes which comes but rarely in history, when we step out from the old to the new, when an age ends and when the soul of a nation, long suppressed, finds utterance." In your individual lives, this moment of graduation is perhaps as big a moment as our nation's freedom from 200 years of imperial rule was for India as a whole, a coming of age for you, and an assertion of your independence from student servitude. As you step out from this campus, you could choose to use this new freedom to fulfill a mission of service or to look after yourselves. Do you want to do good or do you want to do well? The choice is yours. I know the choice that great son of India would have wanted you to make. It is fitting, Nehruji went on in his momentous speech, that at this solemn moment we take the pledge of dedication to the service of India and her people, and to the still larger cause of humanity. I hope that you choose to do the same. You didn't choose to be bankers or accountants or money managers or private equity investors. You chose to be doctors. The driving spirit of your profession is therefore different. Sorry, may I probably give some water? It is impelled, thank you so much, by fulfilling the needs of other people. They come to you at the times of their greatest need, at a moment of vulnerability, entrusting their fate to your hands. In the old days, when people fell sick, they could only pray to God. Today, that is the place you have taken. They turn to you to deliver what their ancestors could only have received from the heavens. I hope you realize there is no other profession in the world that is bestowed with such responsibility and faith. I'm sure that your teachers at CMC have taught you to understand the gravity of the word doctor before your name. Your profession, thank you. Your profession uniquely takes the Hippocratic Oath, binding you to serve the truth, serve your profession, your colleagues, and your patients, and indeed nothing less than all of humanity. The oath outlines the principles of probity, privacy, of service, of humanity, and excellence, which will continue to guide you in your toughest endeavors, your darkest hours, and through the immense satisfaction and glory that also awaits you. You must never fail to abide by it. Today is the day when you move on from the cloistered environment of your college to the real world. First the residency, then the continuously evolving challenges, greater complexities, untapped potentials, and abundant opportunities. I can't help take a walk down my own memory lane for my years at college an awfully long time ago. In the 1970s, when we were young and insecure, so was our country. India was still barely emerging from acute poverty, illiteracy, and disease. Our economy and culture were largely closed, and India was largely synonymous with exotic past glory and present deprivation. The options available to fresh graduates were few and limited. Today you come of age when the promise of India and the potential of Indians is taken as a given by the rest of the world, when the world is your oyster and seemingly limitless possibilities stretch before you. It is no longer a question of if we can make it, but rather when and how we will make it. It is your privilege to be the standard bearers of India's promising future in the 21st century. Now that future is undoubtedly a more materialist one. Our GDP is growing, various big brand products are within your reach that your parents could only have dreamed of. But though material reward is necessary, especially for those who had to take student loans, it cannot be the be-all and end-all of your profession. I remember a story of some medical graduates being asked what they were going to do next, and some said, I'm going to specialize in diseases of the liver. Somebody else said, I'm going to specializes in diseases of the brain, and the third person said, I'm going to specialize in diseases of the rich. That, of course, is not the way that you should go. You exist to save lives, to sustain families, to bring hope to communities through your interventions. You must avoid the pitfalls of both under-treatment and over-treatment, which too often tend to be meted out based not on the patient's needs, but on their ability to pay. Doctors who prescribe unnecessary or unsuitable drugs or scans to benefit from commissions or inducements of incentives from drug companies and imaging firms. Those who illegally harvest the organs of unsuspecting patients for sale. Those who neglect medical needs but always focus on their bills. These exist. Remember, you must never join them. Ethics are an integral part of the highest professional standards of your profession. Instead, challenge yourselves to use your skills to transform our nation. You're young. This is your time. Seize it. a rush of inspiration and energy passes through me when I see all these young faces with their medals, their awards, their degrees. I visualize a full life that lies ahead for each one of you and what you can potentially make of it. But it requires a very fundamental quality inside, not just the brain through which you've won your degrees, but the heart that you must bring to this profession. My old boss, Kofi Annan, the then Secretary General of the United Nations, used to love telling a story about the hen